Did y'all know that the Bible says that swearing is wrong? Just asking curiously, that's all.
Lol, except it totally doesn't, because the fashion of swearing that we do in the modern day, as we know it, was not present in the vernacular of their day. There were expletives and such, but they were not the same ones as now. If you're talking about Ephesians 4:29, it's obvious that this is in regard to maintaining good manners and etiquette, and is not in reference to any specific word or term of phrase. If you're talking about James 5:12, that one is clearly in reference to making overt and outstanding vows, not swearing in the sense of profanity. James 3:10 is clearly about not having contradictory behaviors, such as being rude or nasty to some people but not to others. Ephesians 5:4 is obviously also about good manners and etiquette, shunning the production of crude jokes and insults. Matthew 5:22 is explicitly about not using flagrant insults. Exodus 27 is only about taking the Lord's name in vain, and frankly, fuck that guy. He's a psychopathic megalomaniacal narcissist. Both Proverbs 4:24 and Colossians 3:8 are very clearly making reference to not slandering people or going out of your way to insult them just because. Matthew 5:11 might be referring to swearing. Might. But there's no explicit word that you're not supposed to say or any specific term of phrase to avoid. And you could also easily say this is in reference to knowing how to speak in mixed company, and therefore once again falls into basic manners and etiquette. Timothy 2:16 just wants people to shut the fuck up and do what he says, which is just Timothy throughout. Women can't talk, people can't talk, nobody can talk unless it's Timothy. Matthew 5:37 is once again about not making overt and outstanding vows, and Proverbs 21:23 is clearly about the importance of knowing when to speak and when to keep quiet, as it is directly in reference to staying out of trouble. And now, as we have provided 12 instances of the word swearing or cursing in the Bible, the top most important ones according to many numerous websites, please do show us exactly where it is in the Bible that it says swearing is wrong. Because if you can't, it seems an awful lot like you're just trying to use the Bible as some sort of tool to spread your own personal agendas and try to police the behavior of others with a 2,000-plus-year-old book of fables. Also, nobody gives a shit. There are other religions than your own and other religious books than your own, and anybody with a proper head on their shoulders and a thinking independence should, if they think on it for any appreciable amount of time, realize that they're all sets of fairy tales and fables written by uneducated savages from primitive societies who had no idea how the universe actually worked and needed to construct fantastical narratives to help them sleep better at night and to stave off the fear of death. You will find no sympathy from either ourself or Adam Skeptic if you want to clutch your pearls in these channels over Bible etiquette. You know, 'cause it's a sexist, racist, pro-slavery, anti-family, communist cult manifesto, talking stories and fables from centuries before and appropriating them to create an immortal god king that people have to sacrifice their money, their blood, and their lives to just to get rewarded after they are dead. Do you know what the Bible does say? That no matter how good you were, or how much good you did in life, you will still be damned to hell for all eternity. That being in Revelations 21:8, but as for the cowards, the faithless, the detestable, as for the murderers, the sexually immoral, the sorcerers, the idolaters, and all liars, their portion will be in the lake that burns with fire and sulfur, which is the second death. That is to say that people who don't believe in God are literally put in the same place as murderers. You know what else the Bible says? That slaves should serve their masters and obey them without complaint, as in Ephesians 6:5. Slaves, obey your earthly masters with respect and fear and with sincerity of heart, just as you would obey Christ. You know what else it says? That people who believe in God will be saved regardless of their deeds, and people who don't believe will be damned regardless of their deeds. As in Mark 16:16, quote, "He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be damned," unquote. Or, you know, that women are not supposed to teach anything. 1 Timothy 2:12. "But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence." Or how about that part where Jesus himself comes out and says, in so many words, that he is not here to bring peace, and in point of fact is here to break families apart, that his message is hate, both of others and the self, as seen in Luke 14:25-26, quote, large crowds were traveling with Jesus, and turning to them, he said, if anyone comes to me and does not hate father and mother, wife and children, brother and sister, yes, even their own life, such a person cannot be my disciple, unquote. It sounds like the Bible is an absolutely abhorrent text, full of completely dehumanizing and disgusting practices, and your God is a bigoted piece of shit, and his son is a disgusting pro-hate cult leader. So nobody cares about what the Bible says because it's obviously a bunch of bullshit that has no place in the modern day.